It's my great joy to welcome everyone today to this beautiful celebration of life. Anika mentioned to me before the service that if anyone wants to come in a little closer, bring the energy in, we have seats here, or if you want to bring it in a little bit, please do that. Feel free to. And of course, you're fine where you are. My name's Craig Stephen Phillips, and I'm a part of the spiritual ministry team here at Unity of Tustin. But more importantly today, I was also a friend of Anika's and had the privilege to also be her spiritual teacher. So being here with all of you today is a wonderful gift. If we look around the room for a moment, we can see the faces of those that she loved and that loved her, and that love is very, very palpable here today. So I think as we begin today, if we could all just close our eyes for just a moment, as we did at the beginning. And as you close your eyes, just for this moment, let your body be very, very still. As you feel the body settle into that stillness, just listen for a moment. Bring your awareness fully to your listening. And listen to the beautiful silence in the sanctuary this afternoon. Perhaps even feel Anika's beautiful spirit in the silence, in the stillness that's here with us today. And bring awareness just for this moment to your breathing, and take a few refreshing breaths. And feel Anika's spirit on the breath, present with us today. So beautiful. So I'd like to introduce Anika's beautiful family today, who are here with us. First of all, her life partner, Viking, who is here. Her beautiful children, Zephyr and Sagan. Her mother, Janet. And because she has so many amazing siblings, I will have to read this. So we have Andriana, who I met just a moment ago, Baraka, okay, thank you, Johnny, Ariel, Ethan, Nathaniel, and Gabriel, Gabe. What a beautiful family she had. This is truly a reflection of the love and the light that really was a part of not only Anika, but her family. So I'll just say a few things and a few words about meeting Anika and knowing her these past 4 years, since 2017. I was introduced to her through her sister, Ariel, who brought her to a meditation intensive that we were doing. And I should make note that, Anika resonated very, very deeply with the Taoist and Buddhist teachings. And so I lead a little community called the Tao Tribe. And so I was giving an intensive, this was during Christmas about 4 years ago. And so Ariel brought her to the intensive and we met. And you know, what I was struck by with her, and I was struck by forever after when I would see her, was just this overwhelming gentleness that Anika had. This openness. It was like we had been friends forever. And so from that day, we had a little bit of contact for the next year or two, but then in the year before the pandemic, she reached out to me and she said that she wanted to start coming to our meditations regularly on Wednesday night. And so she did. She began to come and meditate, and I got to know her more and more through those meditations. And it was a wonderful opportunity to really, really get in touch with her beautiful spirit. And for me, again, what I was struck by was her gentleness, this embodiment of gentleness that she had. You know, I had a great Zen master that I studied with for a while, and he exuded that same gentleness to everyone and everything that he met and that he encountered. And she had that too. And I just want to read this beautiful teaching from Buddhism that really, really captures the essence of what it is to lead a fulfilling life. Right? In Buddhism it said, in the end, these three things matter most. How well did you love? How fully did you live? How deeply did you let go? My experience of Anika is that she had a very fulfilling life, an extraordinary life that was filled with love. And as I said, look around. The love is radiant here. All of you carry that love that you experienced in her with you. Right at this moment. She's here in the spirit of that love. And she lived fully, did she not? Yes? Yes, fully alive. And I could see that every time that I had the opportunity to be with her. An amazing, amazing woman. So after, I just want to say too that, just share a little bit about the last time that I saw Anika. You know, during the pandemic, the Tao tribe couldn't meet together, so we were doing it on Zoom, which we still are. And she came a few times, but then suddenly in February, as things were opening up, her and Viking showed up for Qigong for the first time, which I teach out in the park. This was in February, very shortly before her diagnosis. She got to meet some people she had never met before in the Tao tribe, and everybody again was just struck by her presence, by her gentleness and her love. And then the diagnosis came, and the last time that I saw her, I went to her home, and we sat together in meditation. You know, we talked for a little bit, and I thought I would be there about an hour. And I remember her sitting across from me, so still, so beautiful. And we closed our eyes to go into meditation. I thought it would be about 15 minutes. Now listen, I meditate all the time. Okay? So after a little while, it was not a little while, it was quite a while actually, I actually had this feeling like, wow, how long are we going to meditate? It's a beautiful stillness in the room, so I did something I usually don't do. I took a peek. And I looked across from her, and there she was, just deep. You know, just like that depth that some of you were in when we started the service, that's what she was in. Stillness, the presence, right? So I closed my eyes again. I said, okay, this is beautiful. Went inside. Long time went by. I had to open my eyes. I took a peek again. Deep, so deep. So this happened 3 times. We ended up meditating an hour and a half. Hour and a half of stillness. And it was clear to me that there was a depth in her during this meditation that I had not seen before. She was swimming in the ocean of of that. What we say in Taoism, we call it the Tao, which she resonated with so deeply. The universal flow. That divine energy that's giving rise to everything as we sit here. That is you and me, the podium and the piano. And what she loved about Taoism was its connection to nature. And what nature taught us about being still. About coming into that divine presence. That divine flow that is only now. It's only in the present moment. And there she was. So deep. So after an hour and a half we came out. We didn't really have a lot to say to each other then. And we got up, and we walked to the door. Viking came home right around that time. And then she hugged me, and the last words she said to me were, "I love you." I told her I loved her, and that was to be the last time that I saw her in that form, right? Because she's so present to me even now as we sit here together. A day or two later, I was given the words that Viking wrote about his dear life partner. And I want to read some of this today. I don't know if Viking had planned on reading this, but hearing them twice, these are a teaching for all of us. Right? She was so close to the Spirit, right, during that time, her whole life, but particularly during the time I'm referencing now. And so I want to read these words from Viking. And from what I understand, this is what she had told him that she wanted all of us to know and remember as we move forward in our lives. Viking writes, Anika recently expressed her wish to me that we would all learn from the lessons of her journey. She fought courageously and with a warrior's heart through unimaginable suffering. Her fight was truly heroic. So please may we gain strength from her example. She encourages every one of you to take a deep breath and reevaluate your life. She wants everyone to step up and make positive changes on every level. We never know how much time we have. So please, spend some time sharing your love with each other. Don't wait any longer to do the things you've always wanted to do. See the places you've always dreamed of visiting. Eat healthier, exercise, meditate. Spend more time in nature. Tell people you love and appreciate them. Can we all take steps to start fully bringing ourselves into alignment? Let go of worry and stress and find kindness and compassion for all the people and creatures around us. If Anika's journey can inspire any of these things in you, then her struggle will not have been in vain. Isn't that beautiful? Truly beautiful. If I read these words a year from now or 5 years from now, they would move me in the same way. They would bring the question, how am I showing up in the present moment? Am I fully alive? Am I fully present? Because that's the way I'm going to remember Anika. As a reminder, as she said, and as I know she practiced, on this breath, be here, fully present to this miracle. Enjoy the breath you're taking, the love of your dear ones, the feeling of the breeze and the wind on your skin. Enjoy it fully, because as she said, we do not know how long we have. She knew this directly. The next moment is not granted to us. This is something I teach my students all the time. If you're honest, you do not know what the next moment holds. The only thing that you can know is now. Are you here? Are you present? If you are, you're in the miracle. The miracle, look around you. The miracle of love, the miracle of her light is present here with us on this breath. So we're going to move into a little meditation. And what I would ask everybody to do as we move into this meditation is, I shared with you that my feeling and that what I'm going to take, the part of Anika that will always be with me is this overwhelming gentleness. She was also very generous. This little Buddha that I have here, this was a gift from her suddenly. The blue Buddha is the medicine Buddha that I had given her while she was ill, which I told her I wanted back once she was well. Well, she's well, and there's the blue Buddha. So thank you. Okay? So let's close our eyes for a moment. Let's do the practice that Anika resonated with so deeply. And again, as we come to the meditation, just let your body be completely still just for this moment. And again, listen as if with every cell in your body to the silence that we are sitting in together. And very gently again, bring awareness to your breathing. But now get a sense that you have an opening in the middle of your chest. And you can draw your breath directly into the space of your heart. Breathe the breath as a beautiful, clear light. Breathe the breath as the deepest love into your heart. And feel your heart filling with this great light, this great love today for Anika. And as your heart fills with that love, get a sense of your awareness sitting in the middle of your heart. And as you feel into that energy of the heart now, just bring into your heart something about Anika, a memory, a teaching, something that she taught you, something that you will always remember her with. As I said, for me it was gentleness. Perhaps it's something different for you, or a memory you have where she taught you something by her being. Feel Anika's presence in your heart as that teaching, as that gift she's given you. Feel into it deeply today and remember that through this, she will always be present to your life. You will carry her with you wherever you go. Feel Anika there in your heart today. Thank her for this gift. For some of you, it's many gifts. Tell her you love her. And in that love, you will always be one. Feel now grief transmuted to joy. Separation transmuted to oneness. The light of Anika filling your heart always on this breath. As we finish the meditation now, I'm going to read these words. Some of you may be familiar with them. Very, very powerful. Do not stand at my grave and weep. I am not there. I do not sleep. I am in 1,000 winds that blow. I am the softly falling snow. I am the gentle showers of rain. I am the fields of ripening grain. I am in the morning hush. I am in the graceful rush of beautiful birds in circling flight. I am the starshine of the night. I am in the flowers that bloom. I am in a quiet room. I am in the birds that sing. I am in each lovely thing. Do not stand at my grave and cry. I am not there. I did not die. So now we'll be hearing from Anika's brother, Johnny May, who will be singing Moon River.
Hello everyone. I'm Johnny May, I'm Anika's younger brother, and thank you all for being here. I'm going to play one of Anika's favorite songs, Moon River. It was also one of my grandmother May's favorite songs as well, and Anika sang it at her memorial. And so today I'm going to play it at the piano. She also loved the song so much that she recorded it with Viking on an album. So feel free to close your eyes as you enjoy this, and I would ask that you think of Anika and remember her face and her soul as I play. Thank you.
for being here. It means a lot to me and to all of us to come together in love and remembrance. I prepared some words, and then I realized that some of these words Master Craig just read earlier, I should have consulted my last so first I thought I would just come up here and share my heart and just improvise, because I love improvising. Then I thought, well, what if I get stuck and forget how to use words? So I wrote some things down. It's amazing how when people pass on, it can bring us together. Everyone in this room was really special to Anika and was loved by her, and yet a lot of us have not met each other before. So that's a beautiful thing. Here we are, and her passing brought us together in remembrance and celebration. So as we were going through this journey, I was just overwhelmed by the incredible amount of love and support that poured in from this family and our amazing network of friends and beautiful people from all over, and it made us feel that we weren't alone in this journey. It reminded me of how much Anika meant to so many people and how much she was loved. There's so many out there and right here that are holding us right now through this journey. We're all in this together, this thing called life. Let's always hold each other up in love and support and kindness, as Anika did. What would Anika do? I ask myself that every day. So I've heard that it's better to have loved and lost than never to have loved at all. Well, absolutely and unequivocally. I know that more now than ever. I got to have 8.5 years with this extraordinary creature, and I'm grateful every day for all of it. I'm grateful for the time we had together, the memories we shared, the adventures we went on, the countless transformational music festivals in incredible locations. I'm grateful for all the people that we met along the way, the musicians, the artists, the people who are living their dreams. Most of all, I'm grateful for the beautiful children that we created together. Through her and then through our children, I got to experience a love deeper than I knew was possible. And I have nothing but gratitude for all of it. Anika, you are so colorful, artistic, creative, and loved. To see how people lit up when they saw you filled my heart with joy and made me proud to have you on my arm. What a remarkable pair we made. This is my little bit of vanity that I would allow myself, but people would do double takes when they saw us. or pull out their phones to take pictures. We were like a force of nature when we were together in our element, colorful, powerful, and radiating love for each other and the people around us. Yeah. We complemented and completed each other. Anika, I want to honor your memory, but not dwell too much in the past. As I move forward, I want to make you proud. I want to become the man that you knew was inside me. You've made me a better person through your example of kindness, compassion, and respect for all creatures. You've taught me patience with myself and our kids, and you. You continue to guide me even now. I have vowed to be kind to myself and those around me, to do the things we've always wanted, not to hesitate, to seize the moment. I want to give our kids every advantage to be happy and live extraordinary lives. I want to realize our shared vision of living near nature, having property with horses and chickens and ducks and dogs and cats, and all the things that we wanted for ourselves and our kids. I want to travel the world and experience love and life and live life to the fullest, because that's what Anika wants for us. To love deeply and to live life to the fullest. Anika, my love, my princess, my heart, my muse, my dream. I love you forever, and I'll never forget you. Thank you for everything.
Nicely done, Matthew.
My name is Andriana, and I'm Anika's oldest sister. If you called Anika's cell phone, her voicemail didn't simply say, "Have a nice day." She said, "I hope you make it a great day." Anika didn't just let life happen to her. She was an active participant in making her life happen. June 16th, 1983, or June Click Clean, as Anika used to say, was one of the happiest days of my life. I had just turned 6, and my passionate wish had just come true. I got a sibling, and it was a sister. I wanted to name her Cinderella. They went with Anika. It was okay, it's a close second. I remember cradling her in my arms when she was a baby. She looked up at me with these big brown eyes and pink lips and soft golden curls. And I'll never forget the huge wave of devotion to this little perfect human that swept over me. Little did I know that my wish for a sibling would be fulfilled many, many, many times. Eventually becoming a family with 8 children. You can imagine the energy of it all, with piano lessons and homework and softball and baseball games and practices filling spots on an overloaded calendar. We were all pieces that fit into this massive puzzle that was our family. But Anika was always a little bit different. She would daydream endlessly in the leaves and the trees with a profound love of animals and nature. She brought in every bug, rodent, and stray she would find and wanted to give it a home in our house. When she was like 3, we were at the beach and we were walking on the pier. There was this guy fishing, and he had some of his catch sort of freshly laid on some ice. And as we walked away, we heard the distinct sound of a kiss, followed by Anika's sweet little voice saying, "Oh." We turned around just in time to see Anika still bent over the fish. "Anika, did you just kiss that fish?" asked my mom. Anika proudly nodded with that gleam on her face she always got when she was helping an animal in need. There was this fat orange cat named Gizmo who lived next door, and he was sort of grumpy, wouldn't let anyone near him. But Anika, who was 4, mind you, would go over and pick him up from the neighbor's patio and lug him over to our house to play. And she thought he needed a friend and he was lonely. Maybe he did. Maybe no one knew it but her. Anika had a way of seeing things so deeply and through a lens of whimsy and hope and love. She played softball, just like the rest of the kids, but 9-year-old Anika would stand in outfield gazing over at the horse arena, dreaming that it was her riding around with the wind in her hair. It wasn't too long before that little girl was her. She traded the glove for a saddle and the softball cap for a cowgirl hat. Anika spent much of her childhood and young adult life riding trails, training, and showing her horses. And, Anika was sweet and all, But she also was a bit of a prankster. So she would hang fake spiders from my ceiling with clear fishing line and wait for me to get home, and I'd go in my room to find a spider sitting on my shoulder. Of course, I would be screaming, and then Anika would do her little naughty evil laugh. She'd scrunch her nose and she'd be like, and it must be said how spontaneous and daring and bold Anika was as well. She snowboarded, and as a young adult, she sang in an 80s rock cover band. She went to massage school. She started her own massage business. She went to India. She backpacked across Peru and just met people along the way who invited her to live in their community for as long as she wanted because, well, she was Anika. You can't help but fall in love with her charm and her positive energy and her silly humor. Shortly before going to Peru, Anika told me about this guy that she met. And she described him to me with this sparkling in her voice that I had never quite heard before. She told me, oh, he's a brilliant musician and a philosopher of life, and he's wise and handsome, and I really vibe with him on this level I never have felt before. And I was excited for her too. And then she showed me this picture. This guy was like all in like orange, you know, this pointy hat, his name was like Viking or something like that. Well, little did any of us know that this pointed hat guy would come to be one of the single most important people in Anika's life, and a cherished member of this family. This union led into a beautiful time in Anika's life. She found her soulmate, she was a doula, she became a mother. She set mindful intention to deepen her relationship with art and music and her spiritual connection to this universe. Anika had an intense devotion to family. If you moved, she was helping you. If you had a baby, she was there by your side. Anika had a thirst for knowledge and a drive to always find the lessons in life and accept them with gratitude. When Anika was diagnosed with cancer, she fought bravely and with positive determination every step of the way through unrelenting pain. Even in the face of overwhelming odds against her, she maintained a gentle kindness and an openness to what was in front of her. Anika continued to challenge every moment to be more authentic and accepting every experience a lesson to be learned. Anika touched us all with her beautiful spirit, playful nature, and never-ending grace. She is missed profoundly. And I see her in things every day. I will honor her by making every day count. We can honor her by making every day count. So I hope you make this a great day.
Days when the rains came down in the hollow, playing a new game, laughing and running, hey, hey, skipping and jumping in the misty morning fall with our hearts that you, a bright girl, and you, bright girl. And whatever happened Tuesday, it's so slow, going down the old man with a transistor radio, standing in the sunlight laughing, high rainbow wall, slipping and sliding all along the waterfall with you. brown-eyed girl. You, my brown-eyed girl. Do you remember when we used to sing sha-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la When you're down and troubled and you need a helping hand, and nothing's going right. Close your eyes and think of me, and soon I will be there to brighten up even your darkest night. You just call out my name, and you know wherever I am, I'll come running. Oh yeah, babe, to see you again. Winter, spring, summer, or fall, all you got to do is call, and I'll be there, yeah, yeah, yeah. You've got a friend.
We all come from the goddess, and to her we shall return like a drop of rain flowing to the ocean. We all come from the goddess, and to her we shall return like a drop of rain flowing to the ocean. We all come from the goddess, and to her we shall return like a drop of rain flowing to the ocean. We all come from the goddess, and to her we shall return like a drop of rain flowing to the ocean. We all suffering and without desire, and burst into unstoppable joy. I wonder what
Our segment is on life lessons that we learned from Anika, and we had to collaborate because all of us wanted to say all the things. So I chose to speak about my sister, the fighter. In the words of a dear friend, Anika was a cosmic being, 1 foot planted firmly in the earth, shooting down roots into the cool, damp soil, and the other stepping into the mystic, hovering, suspended in a celestial dance. Anika was truly rooted in both worlds for as long as I can remember. She was a strong businesswoman. She was a success in everything she applied herself to in this world. But she was drawn to beauty, light, nature, animals, self-reflection, discovery, poetry, music, and art. Anika belonged in a wooded, enchanted forest, drawing water from a well and grinding up poultices from her garden. Instead, she lived in this world, and she wrestled with the cruelty and callousness of a society around her with mean girls and macho men who often hurt her tender, gentle heart. She fought the mold of the school system, the medical system, even the May family's system of all kids will play piano and softball. Anika broke out of those molds again and again. She created her own mold that she wanted to grow from. And I believe Anika danced between this world of the flesh and that of her spirit until her last breaths. She danced beautifully. Anika showed me what tenderness, forgiveness, and love looks like when you are a fighter. She showed me that fighting can make you strong and still keep your heart soft. When I was busy establishing boundaries, Anika was busy encouraging forgiveness. She was as fearless as she was kind, as strong as she was soft, as fierce as she was gentle. Anika remained curious and was eager to learn and grow. She did not fear pain. She welcomed it. She was in some ways a creature of pain. For Anika experienced pain so much more visceral than most others. Anika had an immense capacity for empathy, easily moved by both beauty and tragedy. She experienced the bliss, the melancholy, the highs and lows of life with deep feeling and connection in her heart, mind, and body. Anika let herself feel in all sobriety without masking or diminishing the weight of pain. She sought its purpose and invited its teaching, its transformation. She put on her crown, armored herself with the strength that I have seen in few others, and made beautiful things out of the ashes. I have no doubt that we, her loved ones, will continue Anika's legacy of making beautiful things out of pain, of leaning into the pain and letting ourselves be transformed by it. I'm going to speak to Anika for a second. Anika, you fought so well.
my brave warrior sister. You fought a lifetime, and I am at peace that your dance is over, and you may now rest. Rest well, my sweet sister.
It was very beautiful, Erica. Thank you. Hello again. I am Jonathan May, Anika's younger brother. When you think of Anika, what one word comes to mind? Perhaps kindness, patience, gentleness, silliness, or bravery. But when I think of Anika, there's one word that stands out above the rest: generosity. Despite being a mother of 2 children, a business owner, and a doula, Anika possessed the unique gift that no matter what was going on in her life, she always somehow made the time, energy, and financial sacrifices to be there for her family, her friends, and oftentimes at the drop of a hat. Today I'd like to share 2 memories of Anika's generosity in my life that have forever impacted me and continue to inspire me to live more generously. My first memory was in 2005. I had a jazz gig at a restaurant about 1 hour from our home where I was playing keyboard and my father was playing the upright bass. After the long drive, we parked at the restaurant. I opened up the car trunk, and to my shock, there was no keyboard. I had forgotten it at home. I thought, this beautiful night of music is ruined, and I felt humiliated. But then I called home, and Anika picked up. As soon as she knew the situation, she said, "I'm bringing you your keyboard," and she proceeded to load my 40-pound keyboard, amplifier, keyboard stand, and bench in her little Toyota Corolla, and drive over an hour in rush hour traffic to the restaurant, saving the day. Not only did we still play the gig that night, but Anika ordered a glass of wine and stayed for the evening, listening to my dad and me play together. What felt like a disaster of a night turned into a beautiful, unexpected evening with my sister. And later, Anika told me that that day was one of the few times that she got to see me and my dad play together, and it was one of her most cherished memories. My second memory of Anika's generosity was in 2018. My wife was 37 weeks pregnant with my son, William, and we were not planning to have a doula. Well, then my wife's water broke at 6 a.m. and we felt panicked. What were we thinking to not have a doula? There's no way we could do this alone. So at 7 a.m. we called Anika and asked if she would be our doula. Now, most doulas get 9 months of notice to prepare for the labor and delivery, and Anika got 0. But true to her generous and sacrificial nature, Anika was at the hospital within hours. She rearranged the next 3 days of her life, and Viking watched the kids, and provided my wife and me with incredible support, strength, and comfort through the delivery. And today, every time I look at my beautiful 2-year-old son, William, I think of Anika's immense sacrifice. In Anika's final days in the hospital, it was very challenging to watch her suffer. But what gave me courage and strength was knowing that if I were in her shoes, she would do the exact same thing for me. Even in Anika's final hours, as she was too weak to hold a pencil, and she could barely speak, she mustered the strength to ask me how my son William was doing. All the way until the end, Anika was thinking of others and loving others. She was a servant's servant and gave from a heart of abundance, even when she had little to give. I will forever remember Anika's example of generosity. I will strive to live as she did, and I hope all of you will too. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. Oh, thank you all for being here. I'm Ariel, and I'm 5 years younger than Anika. So I fit perfectly into the role of annoying little sister who spied on her and listened into her phone calls back when we had landlines. We became close when I was in high school, and she became a huge role model for me. She taught me to snowboard and took me under her wing in many other ways. Anika moved to Orange to live with me for 2 years while I was in college. And Johnny was there with us for one of those years when we called our house the Aja House for our initials. One of my favorite memories was when Anika and I foolishly signed up to do a 2-month fitness boot camp. We woke up at 6 a.m. each morning and were partners for every exercise. I remember how tough Anika was and how I leaned on her throughout those grueling workouts. During those years as roommates, Anika's and my friendship deepened as we evolved alongside each other. Time has a profound way of showing us what matters. It is our experience of existence that is so precious, yet fleeting. On one of my visits with Anika last month, I was leaving her hospital room, and as she had done before, Anika expressed that days were long and thanked me for being there with her for so long. I shared then that the time spent with her was the greatest, most sacred gift. I cherished those long days because they were spent together. Anika made time for the people she loved. I'm a choir director, and Anika made it a priority to come to every concert she could, even if it meant bringing Zephyr as a newborn, and even if she would sometimes fall asleep during the concert. I think Viking fell asleep during one as well. She didn't come because she knew my students, or knew the music, or even because it was convenient. She just came to be there for me, to share that time together. I want to share a word that Anika held as a mantra in her life. The word is desapego, and she learned it while traveling through Guatemala in 2013. In Anika's words, desapego was a reminder that when people hurt you or life is unfair, practice the art of detachment. Desapego, she would say, just let it go. We reminded each other of desapego through our friendships, work lives, and journeys as mothers. And Anika had the grace to renew what had been let go with love and self-reflection. The love Anika gave to us was unconditional. It wasn't contingent on personal gain. It wasn't limited by grudges or judgment. She was my confidant and safe person to explore ideas with and grow with. Anika embraced others as they were. She let go of what didn't matter and filled the gap with sisterhood, reflection, and joy. I hope you all remember desapego. And I hope that you renew what you let go with love, like Anika did. Thank you.
I wanted to send a special thanks to Ariel for organizing this beautiful event, Master Craig for presiding, Kara for the slideshow, all the wonderful musicians, Johnny. It just means a lot to us. So Anika and I, in our travels, have acquired just lots of little treasures and things, and it's time to let a lot of that go. So out there I put a bunch of stones and shells and some precious things that we've accumulated, and I would like you all to grab a couple things from there at some point that you resonate with. It would mean a lot to us to have a little piece of her with you. So feel free. Not the artwork, those are originals and those are mine. And May family, you up?
Hi everybody, I'm Gabriel. I'm Anika's youngest sibling. When I came out to visit this last April, I was taking Anika home from one of her appointments, and I had my phone plugged in, and I played this song, Dream a Little Dream of Me, and I was playing it's the Mama and the Papa's version, the good one. And she started singing along with it, and we just like had this moment, because it's a very cherished song of mine, and she cherished it too. I didn't know that she knew it, and a couple of days went by, and it was actually the last day that I was here, that I got to see her in person, and we got up that morning, and it was a beautiful morning. And I couldn't find her, and I went outside, and she was sitting on the ground with her guitar, and she was playing that song, and I pulled out my phone, and she didn't know that I recorded it, but I just captured her in her just raw, just essence, just in the sunshine, playing that song. It was some of my most treasured memories, and then the last ones I have with her. And I'm so grateful for that. And so we want to tribute this song to her, and Berika so kindly arranged this beautiful, beautiful piece. Yeah, this is for you, Anika. Hope you guys enjoy it.
Star shining bright above you, night breezes seem to whisper, I love you. Birds singing in the sycamore tree,
I'd like to share with you guys a poem that was one of Anika's favorite, most treasured poems. It's called the Desiderata. You can find it on the back of your program. There's a short version. The full version is on the back of this card. So I'm going to go ahead and share this with you guys. It was very dear to Anika. Go placidly, amid the noise and haste, and remember what peace there may be in silence. As far as possible without surrender, be on good terms with all persons. Speak your truth quietly and clearly, and listen to others, even the dull and the ignorant. They too have their story. Avoid loud and aggressive persons. They are vexations to the spirit. If you compare yourself with others, you may become vain and bitter. For always there will be greater and lesser persons than yourself. Enjoy your achievements as well as your plans. Keep interested in your own careers, however humble. It is a real possession in the changing fortunes of time. Exercise caution in your business affairs, for the world is full of trickery. But let this not blind you to what virtue there is. Many persons strive for high ideals, and everywhere life is full of heroism. Be yourself, especially. Do not feign affection. Neither be cynical about love, for in the face of all aridity and disenchantment, it is as perennial as the grass. Take kindly to the counsel of the years, gracefully surrendering the things of youth. Nurture strength of spirit to shield you in sudden misfortune. But do not distress yourself with dark imaginings. Many fears are born of fatigue and loneliness. Beyond a wholesome discipline, be gentle with yourself. You are a child of the universe, no less than the trees and the stars. You have a right to be here. And whether or not it is clear to you, no doubt the universe is unfolding as it should. Therefore, be at peace with God, whatever you conceive him to be, and whatever your labors and aspirations, in the noisy confusion of life, keep peace with your soul, with all its sham, drudgery, and broken dreams. It is still a beautiful world. Be cheerful, strive to be happy.
I have 12 children. Thank you all for being. I want to thank my children for an amazing representation of what Anika was. And as all of you mothers know, sometimes you don't know what your kids have between themselves. So I appreciated every word that my children shared about their relationships with Anika. Oh boy, I really didn't think I would find myself this moved at this moment. I'm Janet. I'm Anika's mother. I'm so thankful that I had the honor to bring this beautiful child into the world. I remember the first time I looked at her face, and I immediately noticed her full and beautiful lips. Anika was a sweet child with a strong sense of innocence and magical wonder. She loved praying mantises, bees, and letting snakes crawl up her arms. She was always gentle and loving. And she was funny.
When she was 3, she loved the movie Pee Wee Herman's Big Adventure. She watched it daily. She would dance, knees bent, on her toes, using the exact movements as Pee Wee Herman did during the bar scene as she danced to Tequila. In kindergarten, she was a little bit shy, but willingly performed a solo in the talent show as a singing, dancing flower next to the garden wall. That was so appropriate for Anika. Anika was unabashed and told you how she felt. She was a free spirit and very courageous from a young age. At 15 years old, she came home really late one night from riding horseback, bareback on her horse Prince. She'd been riding in the dark, heavily wooded riverbed by herself. She said when she got home, "Mom, I got lost and Prince found his way. He brought me home." I told her, "Anika, I was so worried for your safety if someone down there had tried to kidnap you." And she said, "Ma, don't worry. If that happened, I can ride really fast." Anika had the heart of a creative homemaker. She sewed on her sewing machine and would call me with questions or ideas. She was a very healthy cook and a baker, extremely well read on nutrition and holistic health. One of Anika's recent doctors, Dr. Tran, said to me after Anika had passed, "Anika was a truly amazing person. She knew her body so well. She taught me things about medicine." She was a girly girl. She shared her makeup and beauty secrets with others. She was a sharp businesswoman, an excellent on-camera spokesperson, an articulate writer, a poet, an artist, a singer, and a musician. And she modeled. She was a playful and tirelessly dedicated mother of her 2 children who were the jewels of her life. She wanted only the best education and creative experience for them in life. She was equally dedicated and loving to Viking and highly prized her little family. Anika made time for others. If someone was going through a new move or a life trauma, she would climb on an airplane and show up to support them. She offered excellent advice, and Anika knew how to listen. She always loved to give little gifts to people, and she treasured her family and all of her friends. Anika was a comforter her whole life, and that manifested in her work as a massage therapist and a doula for expectant mothers. As a rodeo queen at 17 years old, her winning speech had started out with the quote, "Bloom where you are planted," and she surely did. She was a sweet, fragrant child of the earth who bloomed into the unique, loving person that she was to everyone she met. At 12 years old, she had been given the Kindness Award at her 6th grade class graduation. Anika was always kind. She was always sweet. Hearing her sweet voice say to me many times on the phone, "Hi, Mom," always warmed and calmed my heart. She was my safe person too. At this moment, her essence continues to be in my heart, and it will always be there. I do believe I will see her beautiful face again one day. I love you, Anika. Auntie Beat. So many things have already been said, so I'm going to be very brief, but they're true. Anika has always been a very whimsical and kind of funny and creative and thoughtful. I was blessed to teach Anika to read in our homeschool with my two sons, and using a well-known reading book called Teach Your Child to Read in 100 Easy Lessons. They're not all easy. So, she was diligent though. She'd come to the house and we would go through them and we finished that book. So, although even sometimes she might get a little bit of a desire to just do a little daydream break, and one day she put her pencil on her chin at the table, kind of looked up, and in her very lovely daydream voice, she would ask me a very thought-filled question, like, Auntie Beat, are there more ants or grass in the world? I'd respond, that's a really good question, Anika. Let's look up ants and grass and we'll see what we find. Anika also studied piano with me for several years, and I taught her to read music, and she performed in many lovely piano recitals. And then she went to a blue electric guitar. One time at the age of 8, Anika was in the car with me and my boys traveling down the freeway to a concert. As we were passing, there was a bit of appreciation for America, just as a comment. We were passing an army convoy with American soldiers in their fatigues, loaded in one of those army things, and hanging out the windows, and Anika suddenly became so excited, pointed at them and breathlessly shouted, look, Auntie Beat, real men. Yeah, they were. Anika always kept our little auntie-niece relationship, excuse me, alive. She just called me this past September, just out of the blue, and she called me and said, Auntie Beat, let's go out to lunch. I said, well, it's not really close to my birthday. No, I just want to do something nice for you. I said, well, how sweet. I said, I'd love to be with you. So she arranged for us to go to Marie Callender's. We sat outside and just had a chat fest. And then she said, and now we're going somewhere else, our second stop. No, I'm okay. It's just that I probably ate too much sugar before I sat down and haven't talked since. So she said, we're going somewhere else. And I said, well, where are we going? She says, it's a surprise. So she had driven all the way to Riverside for no reason but to take me out to lunch and then take me for pedicures together afterwards. And we're sitting there having them, and she just reached over and we held hands. So we were having our pedicures holding hands, which was very, very sweet. So that was the kind of commitment, like Johnny was saying. She came all the way out there just to take me to lunch and have pedicures together holding hands. I think I have a picture of it. I hope so, that the lady was not speaking English quickly or easily, but I think I have a picture of it.
So she had driven all the way out to Riverside just for her to do something special for me. This is my precious niece that I love, and I will miss her so much.
Hello, I'm Uncle Nathan, and I'm honored to be here. Thank you for having me here. I'm your Uncle Nathan. Anika was, I'm going to try not to say Anika was, because Anika is. Anika is so special to me, and I have so many stories. A lot of things have already been said. Like the last person, I'll try to keep it brief, but you know, Anika and I spent a lot of time together when Viking was playing gigs or out of town or something like that. I'd help out with the kids. I remember one time, Zephyr, we had Zephyr Cove. I think she was pregnant with Sagan, and we took Zephyr down to Zephyr Cove in Lake Tahoe, and we dipped her in the water and baptized her there in Zephyr Cove. Do you remember that? Do you remember Lake Tahoe? So I remember one time we went skiing together when she was pregnant with Zephyr, and Viking wore his entire, outfit, no helmet, the hat, the whole thing, and she was, beautiful and dressed up, and people were almost crashing, they're going. It was wonderful. But Anika to me was an archetype. I have a daughter. I recently had my first grandson, and my daughter loves Anika so much, and really looks up to her and strives to parent like her, and just wants to be just like her. And I always told Anika that she was an archetype to me. Is that authentic love is always there from her, and she always had a plate of food for me. She always had something kind to say to me. And she just really, really changed my life. And honestly, when Viking and Anika met, I remember, I think it was Bobby back there, and I was like, he needs to get this girl pregnant immediately. She's awesome. Anyway, I don't want to say too much here, but I really just want to honor Anika and say that she was so much to me. She was, when I met her, it leveled up my game in a way. It almost made me realize that there's people like this out there. Where do I get one of these? And so I would literally find myself comparing potential dates to Anika, and I would tell her that, and so that was part of kind of the last thing that I said to her, and the last thing she said to me was that she loved me. Some of my last words to her, I told her, I've always looked up to you as the most beautiful and lovely woman I know. One could almost call it a crush, but more platonic and pure, just like a knight loves his queen. You're the ideal of a woman, wife, and mother to me. I compare other women to you. And just, I'm just so moved by how much she affected me, and I can see the ripples of how that affected other people. I had a guy come up to me that I barely know, and he said, "You're so inspiring to me." And I just thought in my head, I'm just inspired by Viking Anika. I'm just doing that, I barely even know this guy. And so I could see her inspiring me, and somehow that passed on to another person. And so the effect that she's had in this world is just vast, vast. And lately, every time I go hiking, I live in Lake Tahoe, I'm a mountain man, live in the mountains, and lately every time I go hiking, a big, beautiful hawk comes by and says hi to me. and lands right in front of me, gets like really close to me, you know, and I just know that's like Anika's spirit, like saying hi to me. And Viking said that was one of her kind of power animals. So I know that she's still with us, and I just hope that we can continue to strive to live as authentically and love as authentically and be as selfless as Anika. And she set a wonderful example for us. Just want to say that, you know, we were about to go to Mexico. We had our trip planned. We were leaving March 26th. Viking, Anika, and I, the kids, we had the house booked and everything. And I really wish we would have gotten to make that trip, because that was right when her stomach was starting to hurt, and things kind of went downhill from there. But I am just incredibly grateful, just like Viking said, to have had her in our lives. You know? And I said to Erica that she was such a shining, bright, beautiful angel that we mortals only got to have her for a short period of time. You know? She was that amazing. And I'm just so proud, grateful. I just want to express that gratitude. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, guys. My name is Kevin. I just want to say that being asked to speak today, it truly fills my heart with gratitude. And I'm very touched that I get the opportunity to give Anika's brothers and sisters and family that I haven't spent a lot of time with, that know me too well. I wanted to give you an opportunity to paint a picture of the time that I spent with Anika. Again, my name is Kevin Gordon. I met Viking about 20 years ago, like as musicians. We were in bands, playing in the same stages, knowing the same people. We got to enjoy each other's company over those years. But I lived in Arizona and he lived in California, so those times were few and far between. One time on one of these trips, when Delta Nova, I think, was there afterwards, the first time I met Anika, it was very distinctive to me because kind of what she said, you know, it was just like, ooh, who is this? And you better make sure you keep her forever. But what I remember that first time was that she was very radiant, that she was gorgeous inside and out, all the things that you could describe about your sister. And I've never seen Viking so smitten before, you know. And that's what's kind of so wonderful about the relationship, is that sparkle and that smittenness, it just never wavered, it never faded over these years. It never shifted. One time I asked Viking, I think she was pregnant with Sagan, and I said, well, how many kids are you going to have, you know? And he just looked at me and goes, I'll have as many as she wants. And that's where I just knew, I was like, oh, you're in trouble. No. But that's how much he loved, and it was just so real and so true. That was just, it didn't matter. It was, he loved seeing her happy, loved making that family. When I think about my unique perspective about my relationship with Anika, I think about the term sense of family. When I did move here to San Diego from Phoenix 7 years ago, we left our family and a lot of our friends and our close people behind. And having Viking and Anika and the kids around, it just provided that sense of family over the last 7 years. We spent Thanksgivings together, you know, and these were great Thanksgivings from a self-proclaimed person who likes to eat meat. I did not feel like anything was, that we had these culinary treats that she spent so much time, you know, just like working on. It was, you know, not having your family immediately there, those Thanksgivings that were so special to me, you know. Mother's Day, we had barbecues every Mother's Day, we had beach days, we would jam together. You know, Father's Days always got together. In fact, this last Father's Day, Anika made me and Viking tie-dye orange shirts for Father's Day, which Happens to be, of course they were orange. But yeah, just that sense of family. When my daughters would have a birthday party, they were always there. They got her electric guitar for her birthday, which I want to acknowledge, that's Lindy. She's 13 right there. And then that's my wife, Corey. I won't tell you how old she is. But yeah, I just, it was, when I asked Lindy to say, what do you remember about Anika? Do you have things that you want to talk about? She just said that, watching her play guitar and hearing her sing motivated her to want to be a musician, want to sing. And she talked about being able to go over there, and Anika always wanted to try her clothes on and have those fun memories that she'll last forever. My wife talks about how she was such a good listener, and you guys know that, just someone who would listen and really pay attention to what you're saying and ask you questions that you never thought someone would really be in tune to a month later. It's really special that you don't find people that often. Those pure intentions and that inner beauty, it just matched her outward beauty, and that's another thing that you don't see in this world often. Sorry, I numbered these and then I just put them all together. I just want to say at the end that, the unique thing that I had and the thing that makes me humble is I got to sing with Anika a lot. We were practicing on a regular basis these last couple years, making our art as good as it could be. And, as a singer, it was just, her voice was so breathtaking, and it was so much fun for me to be able to sing harmonies. I just never wanted to try melody. I was just like, yes, I'm your harmony guy, And that was very special to me. I will just always just know that that's something that we had. I remember one of those times when they went to the park, we were just like, yeah, you guys go to the park, we're working on harmonies. Something that's really special to me. I knew that watching Viking and Anika talk to each other and seeing their love language and hearing that love language and how they spoke to each other so passionately and delicately and sweetly, it really inspires my wife and I to use that same dialogue with each other. So I want her to know that that's something that's the one thing that we really take, is just knowing that we don't have an idea of how many days we're here, so we fill it with love and kindness, especially to the ones that you love. Like I said, she was a good listener, her intentions, her inner beauty. I just feel so proud to be able to have these times to be her friend, and when I see Zephyr, she's wearing Lindy's old dress, and it's so special to me. So I want to thank you guys for letting me speak today and just be part of this. Thank you.
Feel free to take a little stretch break. To be honest, I was a little nervous preparing what to say, because Anika's family is so creative, artistic, articulate, as Anika was. And I have different skill sets. And there's no way I can put into words how much Anika's friendship has meant to me. But I also know that Anika's family is incredibly gracious and kind and loving, as Anika was. And so I would like to humbly share with you, to the best of my ability, what it was like to be Anika's friend. Anika's smile lit up the room. Her confidence, her energy just drew people to her. I remember my very first day at MOPS, the moms group where I met Anika. I saw her walk in with her bell-bottom pants, and I thought, wow, I hope I get to be her friend. Anika's generosity and thoughtfulness were unmatched. She was the friend who always made a second dessert that was gluten-free so that I could have one too.
She dropped off a whimsical homemade gift when she knew I had a hard day. She sent videos of herself singing or playing any kind of instrument just to make me smile. 1 year on her birthday, instead of getting presents herself, she wanted to do a gift exchange so that all her friends could take home a gift. I forgot to bring one, and she said, "It's okay, I have 2 extras ready." And that is the story of how Anika gave me this gift on her birthday. Anika kept me on my toes. One time she was really talking up this baby possum she had found. And it turns out she was hoping that Brooke or I would be willing to take care of it for a week while she was on vacation. I know that surprises exactly 0 of you. I never knew when I would get a random text invite for a goddess retreat, a foraging workshop, a petting zoo, or karaoke. Anika was like a magnet for beauty. She would find it everywhere and point it out for the rest of us. And in turn, everything she touched became a little more beautiful, including us, including me. I am forever changed by her friendship. Because of Anika, I am more kind, more brave, more loving, more grateful, more aware of the beauty that surrounds me, and a little bit more comfortable with karaoke. Anika's beauty was only matched by her strength. She was no stranger to trauma, grief, or pain. In each case, she faced it bravely and intentionally, determined to learn the lessons within. I always knew she was strong, but in these past few months, she simply blew me away. I believe the last gift she left me with was courage. And so I would like to share with you a poem called Blessing of Courage by Jan Richardson. This is a poem of how courage came to Anika and how courage comes to us now. I cannot say where it lives, only that it comes to the heart that is open, to the heart that asks, to the heart that does not run away. It can take practice, days of tugging at what keeps us bound, seasons of pushing against what keeps our dreaming small. When it arrives, it might surprise you by how quiet it is, how it moves with such grace, for possessing such power. But you will know it by the strength that rises from within you to meet it, by the release of the knot in the center of your chest that suddenly lets go. You will recognize it by how still your fear becomes as it loosens its grip, perhaps never quite leaving you, but calmly turning into joy as you enter the life that is finally your own. I can think of no better tribute to you, my dear Anika, than to boldly step into each day, holding tight to the courage that you have left me, to live with arms wide open, full of love, beauty, and kindness to all of God's creatures. Thank you for showing me how to be brave. Until we meet again, sisters forever.
Thank you, that was beautiful. All of you. Something got added to the program last minute here. Zephyr wrote a song for Anika that was really special to her, and she wanted to come up and share it.
Breathe in the world and the scent of trees. Breathe out all the cancer and remember who you are. I love you, Mamaka, and the rest of the world loves you too.
Thank you, Zephyr, so much.
Thank you so much for sharing that, Zephyr. That was so beautiful. And Zephyr would crawl into bed with Anika, especially over these last few months, and just snuggle with her mommy and sing that to her. All right. So we're going to sing together, all of us. And you'll see on the program we're going to sing a song called I Behold You. And I'm going to tell a little bit about this. In 2019, Anika and I attended Spirit Weavers Gathering together, which is a gathering for spiritual healing, connecting with Mother Earth, our ancestry, and divine sisterhood. We drove up to Oregon together and spent 5 days in the forest with 500 other women. On our last day, we participated in a beautiful departing ceremony. We lined up in 2 lines, forming a tunnel, and each person walked down the center of the tunnel as we sang, I Behold You. And as each person passed through, we blessed them with sweet whispers, laid hands on them, and guided them through to the end of the tunnel, where they then rejoined as part of the tunnel. Anika and I sang I Behold You together and with our children when we returned. I sang this to Anika during her last days with us, while she was resting, and I want to share it with you today, as we honor her spirit. If you feel comfortable, feel free to hold hands with the person next to you and sing together with us. And I'd like to invite our children up here to help me sing it. And we're going to sing this several times, so just join in. I behold you, beautiful one. I behold you, child of the earth and sun. Let my love wash over you. Let my love wash over you. our wonderful family instrumentalists play, I just want to let everybody know that there will be refreshments right out here, and also we'll be taking some family photos. So if you're in the family, we're going to be out on the grass. Thank you all for being here. We love you so much, and Anika loves you very much.
Love you, Anna. Thank you.
Look at this girl. She's bigger than you.